Belize is defined by several sectors: sugar, banana, citrus, marine products, and cattle. It is one of the largest contributors to the gross national income. The sugar industry in particular provides close to 14% of the local GDP, but the industry is under pressure by international markets, and so stakeholders must collectively look at options available to cut costs while increasing efficiency.
We are giving farmers an option, and we are showing them and illustrating to them what this option entails. We had this field planted and it was suitable enough, and I say suitable enough because there were some critical factors that were left out. It is not mechanized and not fully mechanized. And so we wanted to show farmers that we can harvest in these types of conditions, and that it is something that the harvest group leaders can take into account in the future.
Back in 2015, at the signing of a sugar cane purchasing agreement between cane farmers and the American Sugar Refinery, stakeholders agreed to the development of a long-term sugar industry strategic plan. BSI, in collaboration with the Sugar Industry Research and Development Institute, today organized a mechanical harvesting pilot demonstration for stakeholders.
The purpose of this really is to share the experiences of BSI in terms of what they do as mechanical harvesting. And we want to do this because farmers would want to learn, and they are very interested in learning some of the techniques that we have learned.
Mechanical harvesting is used by BSI in 30% of its operation. While it was introduced to the industry in 2006, there are now two of the machines in the country. Valued at $150,000 each, the service is provided exclusively by Northern Enterprises Company Limited.
There's many mechanisms. There's your base cutters in the bottom that chop the cane at the base, and then you have your choppers that will cut it in various billet sizes, whether you want 4 or 5 or 6 on your setting in inches. Okay, so as far as that goes, I mean, you can load straight to a truck, or you can load to a high-tip wagon like you see next to the harvester here.
But there are some field requirements that are important for the harvesters to be easily introduced into the system. Those include the tonnage of cane per acre, as well as the size of the fields. And then there is the $60,000 that must be paid to the contractors for the use of the machines.
Field beds should be prepared in a manner where the rows are at least 1.8 apart. So rows that are less than that, you may have some challenges if you're running in the field with tractors, like the high-tip wagons or trucks. You want to make sure your slopes are even, so your beds are not curving left to right or going up and down. To keep the machine consistent, where the base cutter will do its proper job, you would need it to be leveled, okay? Free of rocks, free of stumps, etc.
The way the sugar industry is being designed in Belize, right? There are over 5,000 cane farmers, and they're all sizes. There has to be major reform in restructuring for this to work at the cane farmer level. Then a structure has to be built in blocking. If it isn't doing 450 tons a day, it's not feasible. Now, this is one of the major challenges that the industry will face, that we will have to do blocking. So in other words, for example, if I would buy a machine, then my neighbor and my next neighbor, we will have to organize harvesting.
Recently, the industry announced that preferential prices for sugar by the European Union would be cut, and this crop season they will receive a first payment of approximately $35, almost half of what had been previously paid. In light of the upcoming price cuts, the mechanized harvesting provides farmers with the option to lower production costs in order to become more competitive.
The benefits of mechanical harvesting are that you have the capability of cutting cane whenever you are set back from what is manual cutting. For example, on a day like this, if you are not able to burn cane for the cutters, then on the following day you will not have any availability of cane. So this is when the mechanical harvesting comes into play, right? Because then I can easily turn into the machines and say, okay, let's go guys, and we can cut, depending on the conditions, between 300 to 400 tons on a day, right? So that is one of the benefits. You can easily come in, you can do green cane harvesting, you can do burn cane harvesting, and you can deliver cane to the mill very quickly. If you see some of the high-tip wagons, the cane that is coming out is very clean because the system, the hydraulic system and the extraction system that the mechanical harvester has makes it possible for us to attain these.
Traditionally, the preparation to get sugarcane from the field to the mill is a tedious and time-consuming one. Cortadores, the cutters, work around the clock, enduring 7-day work weeks during the 6-month-long cane season. So does technology replace the laborers?
There are some leaders whom have had cutters working them for 10, 15, 20 years, and you've built up this very good relationship with them. Where we are trying to move is to a more efficient system where we could eventually create different skilled, higher paying jobs where some of these guys can slot into.
If we don't find where we could cut ends and save money, you will have possible people falling out.
Sir, so does that mean that essentially you guys are willing to, as a cane farmer, you're willing to give up your cortadores?
Let's be realistic. Business is not sentiments. Business is not business. You either survive or you drown. You either have money to pay your financier or you don't, or they will sell you out.
It's not to replace cane cutters. It's really to complement their work and also to use the mechanical harvesters when we don't have enough workers, cane cutters, because we are diminishing. Lots of people don't want to cut canes.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.